Brother Chad right here, man.
You see
Chad,
me, bro?
what's
Yeah,
good,
yeah.
baby?
I
What's
can't
good,
call. I
brother?
can't call. It's a pleasure to be here with you, bro. You know how
How
we
was,
do.
man, it's an honor for you to do this with me, man. You know, I really appreciate you, Chad. You like all these years, you always been very, very loyal and real, and you taught me a lot. You're an older brother than me. I want people to know that how much I looked up to you. You know what I'm saying? And still look up to you because of the extraordinary thing that you're doing today. I want people to understand and get a little rundown on you on how you changed. Because you know Chad. If anybody know Chad, I know Chad is nothing to play with. Never been nothing to play with. I vouch for that. You know what I'm saying? I vouch for that. You know what I'm saying? Nothing to play with. Been through the walks of life and all trials and tribulations of the streets. But he changed his life for the better, man. He's doing very extraordinary things, man. He's teaching the youth. He's talking to the youth. He got foundations and he run marathons for foundations for cancers and everything. Chad, you got the workout center. Chad, talk to him. Let him know what you're doing. And my first question I want to ask is like, what made you? How was it coming up for you? How was it? Just give him a rundown on how it
Because
was.
you was there, so we gonna, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep it real and I'm gonna keep it brief. You know, like a lot of us ain't grow up with a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? When we was young, we didn't even know we was broke because all our friends ain't had no money neither. What we
Yeah,
had was each other in the parks and the streets. That's all we had, you know. Because,
exactly.
you know, we 70s and 80s babies, you know.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
as time went on, you know, the 80s came and then we just started seeing opulence on TV, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody flashing money. 80s came through, bought drugs in the community. We start seeing that, oh, we could have gold, we could have clothes. You know what I'm saying? So just like any hood, you know, we grew up in the style, but just like Brownsville, East New York, Atlanta, California, you know what I'm saying? We all fell for the law of the game of getting that money. You know what I'm saying? Because we always ate whatever was made in the crib. Whatever mom's cooked in the crib, that's what you ate. That's it.
that's
You
what
ain't
it
had no
was.
choice. So we
Yeah,
started seeing dudes having choices and just the lifestyle. So we gravitated to that. You know what I'm saying? Late 80s, early 90s for some, you know, we turned to the juke, the stick ups, you know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
digging
yeah,
pockets and all, like going to Midtown, getting money like that. You know what I'm saying? So
exactly.
that was the basic upbringing in the streets, you know what I'm saying? The day-to-day after school was like, how we gonna get some money? You know, so this is junior high school I'm talking about now. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? I
yeah,
mean the story is similar around the country, I guess. You know what I'm saying? For
yeah,
most
yeah.
dudes, you know, you
You know,
grow up, you gotta get the money. Start
like they
making
say,
more money from your parents.
every hood got a ghetto. Every hood got a ghetto. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
and
saying?
we all got similar
And
stories. You know what I'm saying?
exactly, Chad.
But
You. Like I say, for people that, like I say, I know you personally. You've been through a lot, man. You know what I'm saying? You've been through a lot.
got the war stories, all that, yeah.
Yeah, and that's why I say this is a positive thing. So it's like, I mean, if you want to elaborate, you could, but it's not,
Yeah,
because
you
I
know,
know you.
I'll gloss over it real quick, you know what I'm saying, for those who may be unfamiliar. You know, because like I said, you know, my story is no different from any other brothers in the streets, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You know, growing up in the streets, because, you know, we talked about young getting the money, but then, you know, as you get the money, now you got to start protecting that bread. And
Exactly.
you gotta be a wolf out here in the jungle, or you gotta be a gorilla. You know, so I've earned my stripes, you know what I'm saying? But
Exactly.
in the course of that, you know, I lost a lot of friends, a lot of dudes passed away, you know, being murdered.
Yeah.
Not through quickness, not through accidents. Dude was straight up blatantly, intentionally murdered, gunned down in these streets, you know.
Exactly, Chad.
And some dudes were murderers and thrown under the jail. So in the
Yeah.
course of all of this, you know what I'm saying? I'm out here. I'm engaging in all of that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, it becomes so regular, so habitual. You get tired of it, and then you start in the silence of your mind. You start asking yourself, "Damn, why my man? Why my man had to go? Why this happened to son? Son, a good dude. Why he get murdered? Why he had to die? Why?"
Yeah.
And then, you know, I just started thinking and you know, just started analyzing things, you know, and I had elders around me, like every dude in the hood. You got somebody in your family, in your community, at your church, at school, trying to give you another option, another way to go. Like, yo, son, you don't have to live like me. You're smart, you're too intelligent. I've always heard that. But then I had to just really start doing the knowledge and taking that information people were giving. And then I had one elder, his name was Sweets, you know what I'm saying? He's one of my man's brother-in-law. He's older than me, you know, he's an elder. You know what I'm saying? He's old enough to be my pops, for real. But, you know, he used to always just drop jewels on us and then ask us, tell us about a book he read. And that really got us intrigued, you know what I'm saying? Because in the course of digging pockets, trying to find out where as young black men in the hood, like hip-hop introduced us to Malcolm X. You know what I'm saying? You know, like when they had self-destruction and all that. They played little snippets of Malcolm. And we always heard Malcolm was the thug first. And then he became the righteous man he was, bucking the system. So I was like, you know what? We need to find out who Malcolm was. So we started finding out about Malcolm. My man Juicy, God bless him, that his pops had a nice little library in a brownstone. So we used to sneak the tapes out and just listen to watch videotapes of Malcolm. And we started getting knowledge ourselves, like 17, 18 years old, but we still was playing in the streets. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So in course,
what a little bit of the knowledge. So you had a sense of what could happen if you do the right thing, but you still had your feet into the streets.
But even with Malcolm, we realized that death was inevitable for black men in America. Because remember, by the time we got to Malcolm, Malcolm was already murdered. You know what I'm saying? Malcolm got murdered, what was it, 65, I believe it was? Malcolm got murdered in February 65, you know what I'm saying? 65, April 4th, 68. You know what I'm saying? So we knew, and Dr. King was already murdered. So here we already dealing with death of childhood friends as children. You know what I'm saying? Just being introduced to the criminal side of what black manhood is because we had the wrong information. So now even getting the right information of trying to do the right thing for your community, you see that you're still a target. So we just started peeling back the layers. Why is it like this? So we went from the videos to start reading books. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, again, still in the streets. Now I'm speaking for me. I'm still out here. I got a blicky in the bag with a book. I'm reading the autobiography of Frederick Douglass. And the name is in the bag too. You know what I'm saying?
So you got to protect yourself.
Yeah, through the course of my travels, I'm still feeding my mind because I haven't found the answers I was looking for. And why are we in these conditions that we in? You know what I'm saying? Why are we so poor? Why are we dying like this? And when you turn on TV, you know, we was raised on Happy Days and all that stuff, you know what I'm saying? Where you see other groups of people living well. And that wasn't our story. That wasn't our reality.
That was, you know, good times more our story, you know.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So this is in my 20s now. So now I'm in my early 20s. You know, I got children now. I got a job. I'm still in the streets though. You know what I'm saying? But now I got a little bit of knowledge. I'm still looking. So I'm peeling back the layers and I'm reading, I'm studying. So then I just started meeting people who was really about that life in the community. You know what I'm saying? And I linked up with them. In fact, one of the first people I met was the Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad. Him. You know, he was the national spokesperson for the Nation of Islam before silenced him. I met him on Fulton Street in the corner store. You know, and me and him exchanged.
Is he from our neighborhood?
Nah.
Oh, you just have to
run into him because he goes all around the country. You know, he was the national spokesperson for the Nation of Islam. So I met him in the corner store in Clinton and Fulton. And we exchanged numbers and we just built. So he put me on to some other freedom fighters right here in Bay. You know, and again, I was still in my early 20s, still learning. But he took me places with him around New York. So, you know, I got, you know, and with this group, I got to be a lot. You know, this fly is annoying. I got a fly flying around.
I don't even see it though,
Right, but what's so crazy is that, you know, I was fortunate enough to meet Geronimo Pratt.
Wow.
On him, you know, he's now an ancestor, but he was one of the freedom fighters. I met him when he first came. I met Stokely Carmichael, who marched with Dr. King. You know what I'm saying? Later changed his name to Kwame Ture. He popularized the phrase Black Power. I met Emmett Till's mother, Mamie Till, I met so many historic people, but I still don't got this knowledge yet. I'm still learning.
It's the early 20s, This the early 20s, right?
The early 20s.
And
so
you know,
mine, this is
I know
before
you, Chad, around this
out here and all that. Good. You know what I'm saying?
No, I was saying, no, I don't want to cut you off, but I know, like you say, early 20s. I know you're at a time, like, and what you about to say is that you was getting the information, but like I said, you still was in the street. I didn't know that, Chad, about you, Chad. But I always knew that you was a good person, but it showed from a person that know you, like, oh damn, Chad is changing in a way. Only a person that know you could see that. And I always know, like, yo, Chad on the paper, but Chad taking certain things lightly. He would take. He's not reacting to certain situations like he would do if he was 16. And I seen that. While you saying that you was influenced with all these positive people going around, I didn't never know that. I never knew that.
Yeah, so you know, and you know, like you said, I've always been loyal to a cause almost. You know what I'm saying? You know, for me to get aggressive with somebody, you gotta really take me there. I don't never start off aggressive. You know, I mean, aggression get met with aggression. You know, because we gorillas out here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I had the knowledge, and I'm really still trying to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, why us black men at each other's throats all the time? Why are we beefing? You know what I'm saying? Why the moment we don't agree, the first thing we would do is take each other out of here? Where did we get that? So, you know, I was peeling back the layers, studying that. We was miseducated, misinformed. You know, we fell for the trigonometry. So that's my early 20s. You know, so in learning and studying and just observing, Dubs, I was in rooms listening to conversations with freedom fighters, but I didn't have the knowledge. So I'm just sitting back, observing and absorbing all of that. And I realized all that knowledge don't mean nothing if there's no application. You can know all the history you want, but if you're not going to apply that to better your conditions, to better your community, then you're doing it for nothing.
That's my thing.
Everything we learn, whether it's about the knowledge of our black history or whatever, everything you learn is supposed to help you solve your problems in life.
Exactly.
If your knowledge don't help you solve your problems, then you got a bunch of useless information. You know what I'm saying? And you just need to start over.
Talk, Ted. That's real talk. That's real talk. That's real talk.
I know we ain't got much time because I got an 8 o'clock joint tonight. So what happened was I just started reading, son. I just started building my little library. But then I started volunteering in different organizations. You know what I'm saying? Just whatever I can do, I would volunteer. You know, even though a foot was in the street, another foot was trying to get out the game.
I know that, Chad.
Because it's paying the bills. Not just my bills, but everybody affiliated with my bills. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see you do it.
You know what I'm saying?
I seen you too. I know you did do a lot of stuff with the Brown Memorial Church, and I noticed that. I noticed that. Like you was evolving right in front of people. A lot of people probably didn't notice it. Only if they was real close to you. And I seen that. I noticed you traveled to Africa a lot.
Oh yeah. Salute to my family in Ghana. You know what I'm saying? That was ill. Like even how she does. I'm gonna share a story with you real quick. Like every organization that I've been in, I've moved to leadership, but not by asking, but just by the merits of my work. I never asked no organization to be in leadership. So with Africa, that came by the way of my elder, Mama Eileen Edwards, out in Queens. She has the Sankofa Spa and Resort. You know, we started, she already had it in place in Queens, but, you know, we moved it to Africa, you know, because she has a school out there that I help her sponsor now. You know, because when she transitioned, the responsibility is going to be mine. One of my elders already passed. Her name is Mama Nzinga Abina. You know what I'm saying? She transitioned last year, and actually this year they was going to name a street after her in Queens, but COVID hit, so they had to cancel it. But my elder Mama Nzinga gonna have a school named after her in Queens. But how all of that came about is I started my youth group in the year 2012. You know what I'm saying? So we got some kids together. We started teaching them Black history at Atlantic Terminus Community Center. First we started in my main barbershop, but then we moved it to the community center. We was taking them on trips. So Dr. Umar was speaking in Queens. Me and him had already met prior. This is before everybody knew who Umar was. Like I said, I think it was like 2012. Yeah, in fact, this was 2012. So me and Umar got together and we was building, so we exchanged numbers, said we gonna link. He came through. I brought the children to see him. I had like 10 teenagers with me. You know, my elder was at the door. It was like $15 for adult. Children were free. I asked her how much for children. She's like, it's free. I said, nah, I got a few children. I need to give you something. She said, well, you got 3 or 4? I said, nah, I got 10. She said, you got 10 young people outside. I said, yeah, that's all I could fit in the car.
That's heavy. That's heavy.
He said, yo, if you got 10 children, please bring them in.
That's
so I think I gave her like $30, $40 for the children and still paid for the adults. So we came in, me and Dr. Umar kicked. He's like, yo, what's going on? How you been? How's your youth going? I said, it's going good. These are some of the kids right here. He was like, for real? And he just started kicking it with the kids. I got it all on tape, you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
When I put my presentation about who's tagged, because, you know, sometimes people don't know me yet. I mean, and like you said, the people who know me know my story.
It's about time people know who you are. Yeah, I'm glad, Tag, because yeah, Tag.
So Dr. Umar just stopped. He told the adults, so I really need to talk to the young people. Kicked it with the kids. Then after that, the elder asked me, she said, yo, so what are you doing with them? And I told her, I said, she was like, yo, have you taken them to see Professor Browder? Anthony Browder, you know, he's the author and the dope scholar that we have. Like, he was in Hidden Colors once. I think he was in all the Hidden Colors. Professor Anthony Browder. So I was like, yeah, I took them to see them. Said, you take the children to see the Great Blacks and Wax in Baltimore? I said, we did that too. She said, yo, you on point. She said, did you take them to Africa? I said, yo, that's the plan. She said, yo, I got a house in Africa. I got a school in Africa. Let's exchange numbers, and the rest is history. The rest is history. So I've been to Africa at least 4 times. You know what I'm saying? With my mind, you know, and I love that. I love my elder. You know what I'm saying?
Is the organization for the kids still? Are you still doing that with the kids?
What, the young people?
Yeah.
With the youth group?
Yeah.
Not at this moment. Not right now. Not with COVID. And me restructuring the youth group and building my business. You know, because I'm taking your advice. I'm making myself out.
You make yourself out. You're doing it. Hey, I'm taking your advice. I'm taking your advice too. I'm just trying to have better days, man.
Yo, that's all we can do.
And Chad, that's extraordinary, because I see how God works, and a lot of people need to understand He uses us for a reason. It's a reason that you ran into that corner store and you met the good brother, and he gave you a little. But see how God works, and it's good that some people need to take understand the blessings that's in front of them, and like you say, you got an application and apply it. So you gotta take that, acknowledge that, and then run with it. That's extraordinary. I never even knew that. The way
it's so much more to the story. You know, because this is just the short version. You know what I'm saying? Like how I got to Africa, how I got involved in so many movements, how I've met so many scholars and things like that. You know, because people who follow the social media see me with all these people, but people don't understand. You know, it's the work that was put in. You know, a lot of times, you know, we gotta work silent. You know, and me, I always been behind the scenes. Even when I was in the streets, you know, people would know the team, but most people wouldn't know me. Because, you know, by the time I'm coming, that means conversation done. You know, and it's nothing to brag about. It's just what it is. Like I said, you know, this is the story of every hood, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, you'll have a popular dude, and, you know what I'm saying, everybody's like, yo, that dude. But then they don't know the team that's behind them, that's making the move, that's making the move. Ain't nobody strong by themselves, man. People can find all they want. Like, you know, me, I stand on the shoulders of giants. You know, I stand on the shoulders of my ancestors. I stand on the shoulders of brothers who came before me. You know, and I think we from that cloth where we respect the architects. You know what I'm saying? We respect the OGs that came before us. And I respect the YGs coming behind me. That's why I'm getting no issues with youngins in the hood. Because they know I always respected them. And one of the things they, you know, now that they men, they was like, I said, because you know why? Boys grow to men, and all men are worthy of respect. You know what I'm saying? All men are worthy of respect. So we got to see our young boys as men and treat them as such. You know,
Exactly.
because one of the things I'm working on is creating the rites of passage for our young brothers. Because what I notice about our community, everybody always beefing about what's wrong, but nobody's putting that energy into trying to make it right. And that's the contradiction in itself. So even last year when I was in Africa, so I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with you. Keep it 1,000 with you. I got the documentation and everything. Last year they wanted to install me as a chief in Africa. They wanted to make me a chief.
I didn't know this, Chad. Just you blowing my mind right now, Chad.
But you know, I declined. I respectfully declined. You know why, Dubs?
I want to ask why.
I traveled this country, speaking, working with people, working with other organizations. I traveled this country. I've been back and forth to Africa doing community work. But you know what I realized? Who needed most? The community, the very hood I'm from, the people I grew up with, the people I got mad love and respect for. You know what I'm saying?
That's honorable. That's honorable, yeah. That's real right there, man.
So it's like I said earlier, you know, we're good at the information, we're good at having the information if we don't solve problems. And I see a lot of problems in the hood. You know, I mean, they could dress it up and make it look nice with gentrification, but our people are still broke. The people who've been here, who are fortunate enough to still live here, they still struggling. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I know that, Chad. I see it.
Packages of state to their family. They still trying to make ends meet to feed the babies. Meanwhile, we got gentrifiers moving in our community. You got landlords and business people making it look nice superficially, but fundamentally, the poverty is still here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Nah, it's real, Chad. But you see what they're about to do? They're about to close down the triangle. You know that?
Yeah.
Well, you know, everything on that side is dead. All those stores are closed.
That's only because the original people of the community are utilizing it. Because they didn't create that for us. They created that for the new people. But, you know, our presence is always going to be something. And that's something that they don't like as well. You know, our presence has always been. We're the first people on the planet. You know what I'm saying? Like, you go to Ethiopia, the bones of the oldest person on the planet her name is Dinknesh. The first person that they found on the planet was a black woman, and her name is Dinknesh.
Dinknesh.
They call her Lucy. Okay. I think it was Dr. Leakey who found her. You know, who found her bones, and he was listening to the Beatles song Lucy when he found her and he was doing his excavation and all that, and just decided to call her Lucy, but her real name is
Dandy. Okay.
The story behind the bones of the first person is called Dandy. I mean, there's so much information out there that's intentionally kept from us because they don't want us to see our greatness, dog.
I know, Chad.
So when people start talking about how great we are, it sounds good, but a lot of that is rhetoric. We got to demonstrate how great we are. That's what makes it official. So when we talk about Malcolm, when we talk about Harriet Tubman, when we talk about Marcus Garvey and Frederick Douglass, we talk about their greatness, not what they said, but we got to talk about what they did, right? Because that's their story. And every last one of us got a story. We just have to develop it, learn how to articulate it, and share it with the world. But when I say develop it, I'm talking about what do we do with our life? Not the rhetoric we can spit, but what have you done with your life? By all intents and purposes, I'm supposed to be either dead or spending the rest of my life in jail. And when I say that, you know, I can tell you what my blood tastes like. Yeah. I've been pistol whipped. I've been shot. I've been shot in the head. Like, that has happened. People have tried to kill me on several occasions. It's not like the judge been trying to throw me under the jail. It ain't like they tried to throw the book at me. You know what I'm saying? Those things are real. Like I said, my story ain't no different from anybody else's in the hood. I just decided to take my story and develop it and help save lives. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't bring back those that I lost already. You know, once we love the cause, all we can say is God bless and peace be upon us. But now if we could prevent that from happening to the next little brother coming up behind us, then we've done our job. And that's what our knowledge is supposed to do, because we've seen this game. It's like a rerun. Every 5-10 years, you see a new group of kids on a different corner, rather on the same corner. It's the same corner, different dudes doing the same thing, and they all think they the first one to do it. They think they the first one with a gun. They think they the first one to sell drugs, not knowing that somebody did it right before you. Thought they wouldn't get caught. They got killed and went to jail. Before them, somebody thought they could do it, wouldn't go to jail, wouldn't get caught, wouldn't get killed. And it's like a vicious cycle that keeps repeating itself. So those of us as men, as men, it's our job. There you go.
You still able to blinked off for a minute.
Yeah,
Go, Chad.
Nah, I done finished my point. I don't know where it got stuck at.
No, you know, it got stuck, but my whole thing was like, yo, that's why, I learned from you. And like you said, and it's all about what can we do? And like you said, we have information. If we don't have information and know how to articulate it the way it, articulate it, then but I want people to understand there's something you can do.
Right.
Even if you can't be as vocal and articulate the way Chad can do it, you can recruit 4 or 5 people and introduce them to Chad. It's always work for change. You don't want nobody to feel like, well, I can't speak as well as Chad. I can't. No, you can do something. You like you're somebody. We all have a gift, and if we apply it to something positive, we can make it happen. Just like anything we do.
It's funny because I got an African sister that I work with. I don't know if you caught earlier this month. I did the financial literacy workshop.
I remember you did that, yeah.
Yeah, the African sister that I work with, she's Nigerian. She always says she wants to, like, how do I talk like you? Like, I want to, it's just a gift that I've been blessed with, but that comes from being able to really tell my story from the heart. Like, I never really took formal training. Like, when I went to college briefs, I went to Mega Evans real quick. I had a professor named Dr. Mary Umalu, peace be upon her. She was my speech professor for one semester, you know what I'm saying? But she taught me the fundamentals. But what I realized is, like, reading alone, I've learned new words. So I was able to expand my vocabulary and put words to things that I couldn't express. Because a lot of times we just have these feelings, but we don't know how to express them. So it manifests itself in violence. All right, big cuzzo stretch. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right here. I'm glad these are OGs right here that's before me and Chad. And
like I said, I respect the architect.
Yo, Chad, you architect, man. I'm listen, big stretch of architect. Okay, Chad, keep going. They need to hear it. That's nothing I can say.
But what I had to do, Doug, with reading, I learned how to expand my vocabulary and put words to what I was feeling. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times the violence in our community is because we don't know how to express ourselves. We don't know how to properly speak to people. You know what I'm saying? We don't know how to tell people when they offended us and how they offended us. You know what I'm saying? We got to realize most conflicts always start with communication. Remember, we was taught as children, it's never what you say, it's how you say it. Because you and I can have a misunderstanding, right? And I could be wrong. But now, depending on how I approach you about it, could create a whole conflict in itself. Because you might be like, yo, Dad, you right? But I don't like how you coming at me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now what you said, how you said. We created one for lack of respect.
Yeah.
And a lot of times we don't know how to respect one another because we don't know how to express ourselves. Because respect is always the order of the day. So once you learn how to express yourself, you start learning how to respect yourself because you keep yourself out of conflict. Once you have self-respect, you start learning how to respect other people. You know what I'm saying? And it will show not just in your words, but also in your actions. Because like I said, you know, when we learn how to speak, we got to tell our story. Can't nobody tell our story like us. We got to speak for ourselves. Because sometimes people may say what they thought you meant and misconstrue your whole point of whatever you were conveying to them.
Yeah, I feel. I believe me. I know what you exactly coming from. Exactly.
Definitely. Because that's the most conflicts in the hood. But you think how many dudes you know that passed away? Most times it's either a misunderstanding or something that ain't had nothing to do with it.
Yeah. I know, Chad.
Either misunderstanding or something ain't had nothing to do with it.
I learned that. I had to learn that.
Because as sure as we talk about the brothers in the hood, it's like we forget about the mothers and the children that have to bury our brothers.
Yeah.
You know? So when dudes tell me how thorough they are in the streets, I hear you, but I'm because I tell people, yo, I'm so far past that. Because that's a dude who ain't had nothing to live with.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I tell dudes, you ain't got nobody that love you. You ain't got no daughters. You ain't got no son. You ain't got a mom, a grandma. You don't got a wife. You don't got nobody to love you. You really out here ready to do it all to prove to the hood how thorough you are.
That's why I tell people they forget about who you. It's not about you, especially like you say you got somebody loving you. People throw their lives away, forgetting about who really love them until they get in that can. Until they get in that can. Everybody love their kids more when they in the can. Everybody love they love everything when you, oh, my kid, nigga, you ain't think about them before you made that decision.
When I was in the can, they was trying to paint me as a kingpin and all kind of wild stuff. They was saying I was trying to intimidate you. Like, yo, they didn't give me no bail. They act like I was the worst dude in the world.
I know.
And then they bring up past cases, and I'm like, wow, y'all really trying to.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with you, dog. I'm the Supreme Creator. God, Allah, Yahweh, whatever you want to call that divine source, that divine essence. I tell you, ain't nothing like a praying man that's running for bullets.
I know.
You become a praying man.
I know. Talk, brother.
You become a praying man when them things going on. So this is all real life experience, you know. And sometimes we can't negate that because once we get out of that scenario, we act like it's, you know what I'm saying? We act like we're untouchable. And sometimes we don't humble ourselves. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when you forget where you come from, you forget humility.
Yeah.
I never forget what I've been through.
Forget that
I remember all the times I prayed to get out of the situation. And now that I'm out of the situations, I made that vow that I'm not going back. But how can I ensure that I stay out of them situations? By developing myself, by being creative with myself, by getting in the inner recesses of my mind, saying, yo, what do I want to do with my life?
Yeah, I can't do it.
What my mans and them doing.
Yeah.
Later for what everybody else is doing. What is it that I want to do with my life? Remember, at one point I got fat. So I said, yo, I want to lose weight. And I started losing weight.
And you got the picture, you got all the documents. Y'all got to follow my man, Chad. Chad, you're going to give the information how you can log on to him. He got the fitness, he do fitness training and everything. He's an extraordinary brother. Y'all got to follow him because he's a very unique guy. He's doing very positive things. Yo, listen, yo, I'm proud of you. Yo, I got to get your roses. That's why I love you, Chad. I had to get you. Yo, I'm glad you did this with me because, you're a unique dude, man. You didn't make me want to cry because it's that serious. And I'm just honored that you're doing this, man. You don't even know, dog, because people need to hear this. People need to hear this. And if this is the way I can give back to people, then that's my way. That's why I just said a minute ago. It's ways everybody can give back.
Does, bro. I do it for you. I do it for everybody. Anytime I roll, no matter where I go, I'm me. I don't pretend to be nobody else. You know what I'm saying? That's why even on Facebook, my name is Chad Cromwell. I tell people I'm not hiding from nobody. I could pick an African name or I could pick a fake identity. I'm like, nah, I ain't hiding from nobody. I ain't got no beef out here with nobody. So I ain't hiding from nobody. I ain't got no cases. Everything I ever had to deal with, Doug, that's what everything I always resolve.
I know that. I know you, Chad. I know.
I don't leave nothing open-ended. I believe in resolution, you know what I'm saying? And that's another thing we got to do, you know what I'm saying? Like really start being committed, creating goals, sticking to them, seeing things through. You know what I'm saying? You make a child, you stick with that child to adulthood, but you rear that child the best of your ability. You provide financially, even if you and the moms ain't together, you provide any level of support you can, even if it's emotional. Just be there. You know what I'm saying? It's so many things I've learned along the way, Dubs, and I promise you, when I was in Africa last year, 2019, man, it hit me like an epiphany. I said, yo, I'm not going to Africa next year. And people was like, why? I said, because all of this knowledge, all of this stuff, you know, because they roll out the red carpet for your brother when I hit Africa. And I love it.
Yeah, I see. It's documented. I see you on the game. I see how they. I see
all of this energy. I really got to bring back to the hood for people like you, people I grew with, people that I love.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Where I know y'all families. You know what I'm saying? Where our families know each other. Sure enough, in Africa, son, it's no different. I'm gonna make this real quick. Like, you know, when black people talk about our roots, we always talk about down south. But we don't realize what we had down south was the West African culture. Like how everybody looked out for each other. Everybody, like how we grew up, you know what I'm saying? Everybody looked out for the children. That's what Africa is like.
Yeah.
You see little kids walking in the middle of the night and they don't look odd because everybody knows who that child belongs to. So that child belongs to the village. Ain't nobody gonna touch that child.
Exactly.
Ain't nobody gonna bother that child. Remember, we as kids, we used to play in the alleys, run, go anywhere in the hood. And it worked because everybody knew who families we belonged to.
Yeah.
Because families knew families. You didn't know just one person and not know the family. You knew the whole family when you knew somebody. So you knew who you was dealing with. These days, you don't know a person. A person could just come up, pop up on the scene, and chances are that's who the feds be, that's who the D's be, that's who the snakes be. The people where you can't track them, they don't have no history. You know what I'm saying? It's like we got away from that, but that's something we brought with us from the continent. So much of African culture is what you see down south. You know what I'm saying? When I went to Africa, the brother said, yo, you don't have places like this in America, do you? I was like, you crazy? This reminds me of Charleston, South Carolina. Little dirt roads, little shanty houses.
Yeah,
because
Africa,
they got
that was the first stop. That was the first stop.
That's the first stop.
The first stop.
I was in the dungeons. I was in several of the dungeons. I walked on, what was it? It's a path called the Last Bath. Like when they marched our ancestors from the interior of Africa right before they took them to the slave dungeon, they took them to a river and washed them up, and then they had to walk another 30 miles. Mind you, they already did like 300 to 500 miles, but they had to walk another 30 miles to the dungeon. Yo, Doves, it's worth everything I love. Go on my page, you'll see the gold in the river. The gold is still there. We asked them, say, yo, nobody come take this gold? They say, no, because the gold belongs to the ancestors. Son, you still see the gold in the river, son.
Wow.
So yeah, I walked that path. I walked, you know, bathe my feet in that water. Like, it's a spiritual journey that a lot of us got to take, because when we really start peeling back the layers and we ask how we got in these conditions, when you get to the slave dungeons, you start to realize this is where all our problems start. From Emmett Till to Malcolm X to Martin Luther King to Breonna Taylor to Trayvon Martin, all that hate came from there because we had greatness and they wanted the greatness. So they stole the people and the minds that created greatness. And that's why I fast forward to me to right now. We can talk about all the greatness we want, but we have to take our lives and make our lives great. We got to be that example. Just don't talk about other people, because we could write a great story, particularly those of us who've been through the trenches. Those of us who've been through the hells of the hood. Those of us who've been in poverty. Those of us who've been in jail.
We the best one to do it.
Right. I've never been addicted to drugs, but for those who can kick the habit of addiction, whether it was drugs or alcohol, if you can kick that, man, your story is an inspiration. You can help somebody else. And that's what we're supposed to do with our lives. We're supposed to be the best us we can be and let it be an inspiration to other people. You know, for those who may not know me or know both of us, it may just sound like the story they always hear. But when they really pull back the layers and look, you know what I'm saying? Like, wow, these brothers really been through pain, like losing your best friend.
Yeah,
you know,
we lost many of at a young age. So it's like exactly, Chad. They put out, but one thing I wanted to say too is like, you know, when we talk about the people that pray, they prayed in situations, and you remind me like your situation remind me of mine, because I knew that when I got caught up into the situation, what made me change my life, I prayed. Father, if you help me through this situation right now, I promise I won't drink or nothing no more. And if we start living up to, like you say, start living up to what we preach, better things happen. When I
Yeah.
came home, Cat, I didn't drink or nothing no more. Everything just started going up. God
Yeah.
was good on me. People gotta start letting our spiritual being take control.
That's a fact.
If we not strong enough to do it, just believe in. Because I see, like you say, Chad, you say, damn, yo, Doug. I know I ain't gonna get into that, but yo, Doug, I know you like, yo, if I can get up out of this situation right now, because I
Yeah.
know you, Chad, they don't know. You ain't gonna talk about it. But you was like, they had you like this, dog.
Yeah.
They had you like this, and I know you said when you pray and you pray, and when you came home with people understand, don't just pray to get out of the situation. God gonna be there for you all the time. When you get up out of that situation, keep your
Keep your
promise to
word.
God.
Yeah. Keep your word. That's it. And you know what's so dope about that, Doug? Real rap. It's like the universe is listening. So when everything you say you want, you can't get, and that's a whole, like we could take a whole other hour with that one talking about the
Yeah.
power of the mind. In fact, a book I recommend everybody read is called Think and Grow Rich, A Black Choice by Dr.
Thinking
Dennis
rich.
Kimbro. Yeah, not by Napoleon Hill. Napoleon Hill was the original, but
Okay.
Dr. Kimbro wrote Think and Grow Rich, A Black Choice. And he talked about the power of the mind, talking about how all great ideas and inventions start in the mind. So he got
Yep.
a chapter called Inner Space, the Final Frontier. He talks about how our mind is a microcosm of the universe.
Okay.
Like how out of our mind everything is created, everything that
Yeah.
we want. Like a
Yeah.
light bulb, cell phone, all
Yeah.
that. First of all, the light bulb, cell phone, those come out of black minds. You know what I'm saying? Most inventions come out of our thoughts. So we
Yeah.
got to realize the creative beings that we are and let it manifest. You know what I'm saying? Because like you said, when you pray that you get out of a situation or you pray to kick addiction, it's going to happen for you. But then you really got to stick with it.
You gotta be a
You
man
really
of your
got to
word.
stick with it. Because I'm going to keep it 1,000 with you. I've made mistakes this year alone. You know what I'm saying? I made some huge mistakes. You know what I'm saying? That I'll forever regret. You know, I mean, it ain't nothing crazy like, you know what I'm
We
saying?
not
Like my
perfect. We
past.
not perfect. We not perfect. We're none of us
Right.
perfect, but we learn from
And
it.
that's my point. But when you earnestly and honestly stick to your guns, say, you know what, I'm still striving, because we all fall short. So I would never get on nobody's channel or platform or profess to act like I'm perfect.
Yeah.
But I know I've come a long way from where I used to be.
Talking to my boy Chad, that's real talk. That's what this is
You know,
about, Chad.
I've come a long way from,
Everybody
you know
front
what
like
I'm saying?
nobody
And look,
front for nobody.
look,
In the real deal.
check it out. I done came mad far from where I was before, but I ain't even halfway to where I'm going.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
still
saying?
the journey. We still gotta keep going. Still a long way to
And
go.
that's why I created, and that's why the name of my company is called Better Days Ahead.
Better days
Because I
ahead.
don't care what we've been through. Sometimes you want to give up. You know what I'm saying? I lost a cousin who took his own life like in 2007. You know what I'm saying? Man, him was like this. We was only a month apart.
He's a
One of my
blessing.
first cousins. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I remember our last conversation before he left. Something was just gnawing at me, call him. I was just calling to say what's up. It turned like a 2-hour conversation of just love. We had plans to get together and see each other. But of course that didn't happen because the following month, you know, he took himself out of here.
Wow.
And if I wish I knew that was coming, because I would have definitely did what I could do to keep
Made
his
your
hope.
business to make it. Yeah.
You know, and people don't realize when you really about this life, you know what I'm saying? When you really about that street life, when you in it 100 deep and you 10 toes down in it, and then you come out of it, you look back with some remorse. You look back with some regret.
Yeah.
Any
Yeah.
dude that say they was really out there like that, don't regret some of the things,
Crazy.
either you wasn't out there or you're not being honest about something.
You're not
Or
being
you
honest.
just
Or you just ain't got no heart. Or you just ain't got no heart.
right.
Because I know a
You
lot
know
of
what
stuff
I'm
like
saying?
that I done did. I'll say, damn, and I'll just pray on it and just ask God to forgive, man. You know, that's all you can do, man, and try to make it right. Like
That's
you
all.
said, you got to repent, man. You got to repent, you know, sometimes. But to Chad, I really wanna. I know you got things you want to do. I'm gonna put your information up on IG where people can reach out to you and everything. Talk more about the Better Days, about what that's about, what it does for people, how they can reach you, everything you got going, how they can, you know, even I want people to, you know, when I put up there, understand that they can come to Chad and tell what's a good book to read. What book should I read? Anything.
Yeah.
Just give them that, Chad. Give them something.
Yeah. All right, so the name of my company is called Better Days Ahead Fitness. I chose that name because, you know, in our community, a lot of people are fighting with depression and anxiety. You know, a lot of mental health issues. You know what I'm saying? And ain't nothing wrong with mental health. Let me tell you, I go to therapy.
Yeah,
I have a therapist. Let's be clear. And I think everybody should get a therapist. You know what I'm saying? Because we got a lot of unresolved issues that we really have to close up if we're going to really develop our community and be leaders in our family. You know what I'm saying? We really got some things we need to iron out and get our act together.
Exactly.
You know? So for people that are struggling, I just want to put that little nugget in their mind. Like, no matter what you're going through right now, there's better days ahead. For a lot of failures, they think their best days are behind them. But every day we wake up, we got an opportunity to do it over. We'll do it better. You know what I'm saying? So we got better days ahead. You know what I'm saying? It reminds me, like you think of Al Bundy and Married with Children. You think, I never really understood it when I was young watching Married with Children. Remember, you always talk about his winning touchdown at Polk High football game. You know, that was his best days. His best days was behind him. And that's the whole joke about Married with Children. His best days were behind him. And a lot of people are walking around like that. Like their best days are behind them. So they just giving up on life, just standing around waiting to die. But I'm trying to inspire people that your best days are ahead of you. You have better days ahead. Whatever it is, as long as you can get up, as long as you got your mind and you got cognitive thinking skills, you can manifest your life to what you really want it to be.
That's that's my motto, Chad. That's my motto, Chad. That's my motto, Chad. The longer I wake up, is more I can do.
Somebody, Yvette said the sound. Something's going on with the sound. I don't know if it's me or what.
I don't know. But Chad, listen. I know you. I'm blessed that we got to do this more often. I'm honored that you gave me the chance, because I know how busy you are in doing everything. And I just want to say, I love you, Chad, man. I love you from the heart, man. I appreciate this, man. I want to give you roses on this, because I want people to know we are born and raised around some extraordinary people that you didn't even know was doing extraordinary things. And I'm just glad that you're one of them, man. And you gave me the opportunity to display that to people that look and is going to look. You know what I'm saying? Because people going to look afterwards, and they're going to really understand, like, who you really are. And I appreciate you, Chad. And I love you. Great job on what you're doing for the people, man. I'm trying my best to do what I can do, any way I can do it. It's not about nobody getting paid for none of this. This is about just making a better day for some people. You know what I'm saying? You know, and I appreciate you, but I love you, Chad.
And I love you too, bro. So let me give the people the information. On Facebook, they can follow the page, Better Days Ahead Fitness. It's spelled the way it's pronounced, you know, Better Days Ahead, BETTERDAYS. Better Days Ahead, AHEAD Fitness. Right, Better Days Ahead Fitness on Facebook. Of course, y'all already watching Uncle Tad on Instagram. But then my other page is Coach Tad Cromwell. That's one word, COACHTADCROMWELL, Coach Tad Cromwell. I'm also a public speaker. So if you have an event, you just want me to share my knowledge. In fact, I'm slated to do something in Pennsylvania next month in December. So once I get all the logistics, I'm gonna put that out there. A matter of fact, there's an event tomorrow.
And send me that, and send me that too, Chad, so I can share that information too. You know, whatever move you making, you put on the platform, I'm gonna repost it and try to share it for my end as well.
Yeah. Because in fact, tomorrow there's a rally downtown Brooklyn at 10 o'clock. At 10 o'clock by the Brooklyn Bridge on Brooklyn side by Cabinet Plaza. There's the I Am a Man, the 25th anniversary of the Million Man March. So it's 500 times 500 black men who care, but it's all 5 boroughs that are getting together tomorrow at 10 a.m. on the Brooklyn side of the Brooklyn Bridge, commemorate the Million Man March 25th anniversary. You know, so that's going down tomorrow.
All right,
can follow me on Instagram, Coach Tad Cromwell, CoachTadCromwell on Instagram. And I mean, I'm out here doing some community work. And in fact, you can also check out on Facebook a radio show I do called Thorough Black Talk. That's going down in about 5 minutes.
All right.
8 o'clock.
You working, Jay, you working.
Or Facebook. But you know, Dubs, this, you know what I'm saying? This is what we got to do to save lives. You know what I'm saying? It's all about the love. We really have to come together and try to strengthen our community.
Yeah.
We've seen enough of the death style. We've seen enough of the pain and the hurt. So it's on us to really develop our community and move it forward. You know,
one step at a time.
If that's the way for you, then by all means. But there's more than one way we can skin this cat, because a lot of people are experts at the problems and amateurs at the solution. So anything I can do to encourage people to be solution oriented, we have to be people of solution and not complaining so much. And let our life, let's turn our tragedies into triumph. You know, that's what I want people to walk away with. You know, it's never how you start, it's always how you finish. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Get ready to check out here and go to the other side of things.
Yo, Tad, I love you, bro. I love you, bro. Brother Tad right here. I appreciate you, man. Listen, I got to get more in tune with what's going on, too, because, like I say, I'm trying to build this right now, and I need more guidance just from as well from you, too, because I'm on the same page as you, Tad. I'm learning this right here, but I don't think about it. I just do it. As long as it's right, I'm just going to do it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what I'm doing right here. Like, you know, like people say the sound. I don't know, but I just say this is a platform. Let me just do it. I'll learn it later because I know it's important to just do it.
That's how we learn, through experience, brother.
You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
Chad,
but I know you get ready to check out, Dubs.
Yo, I love you, Chad. Thanks, man.
I love you, too.
You and the family, man. I love you, bro.
No doubt. You stay up, stay blessed, stay true. And remember, no matter how hard things may seem right now, there's always better days ahead.
Yeah, I love you, Jay. They know, bro.
Peace,
all right. Okay, that was my brother Chad, man. You know what I'm saying? That was heavy right there. You know, and I had to, we got to, like I say, he's doing extraordinary things. Follow him. I'm going to post all his links up so you can get in contact with him. And it's not about just talking about what you want to do. It's time to just do it. You know what I'm saying? It's like he says, always going to be better days. Stop living. Your best days ain't behind you. Your best days are in front of you. So if you want it, you know, whatever you want to do, if you can get up in the morning and you still got a breath in you and the energy, and you got something you want to do that you always want to do it. Do it. Just go. You know what I'm saying? I like to say, you know, I got to sign off right now. I got 28 seconds. But listen, I love everybody. You know what I'm saying? I love my people that joined in. I'm going to send the links and everything. And like I always say, keep making yourself hype. You know what I'm saying? Nobody can do it for you but you. Peace and blessings.